Welcome to the channel. Thank you everyone for tuning in. So joining today, guys, we'll be unboxing a brand new release yet to come out from the brand called Revelot. I'm hoping you've seen their reviews before. I think around 2020 they did hit a fair bit of hype with the 42mm Hexmariner. I think it's called the R11. Now, as far as, Submarine homages go, we all know how we feel. They're a bit sickening, to say the least, in terms of, they're just so common now. Literally every watch that's ever homaged anything has homaged a Submariner. We've said it numerous amount of times. But, time to time, a company does come out and it brings out a fantastic version. Now, Revelot did do that with the previous one, the R11. They did change the shape enough, gave it some really cool angles and facets, and, I was a big fan when I saw the reviews of this watch. So I got in touch with the brand owner. I did say, have you got any new watches coming out? And he mentioned that he's got a new 39mm set to be launched. So in hand, I have the new Hexmariner 39 prototype. So I'm very excited to kind of take this out of the box for you guys, show you what I think about it. I give you just specs, details, dimensions, etc. They are launching on the 11th of November. So I want to get this done beforehand. So that's why I was kind of jumped in the queue of all the watches I've got lined up for my AliExpress stuff. So without further ado, let's open the watch box. Do you need some information on the watch box? You probably don't, but it does come in an outer sleeve. Let's have a look. Here it is. It's got the Hex logo on this with a honeycomb pattern. Let's put that way, black and gold, very nice catchy colors. And again, with the cardboard box, a very nice sleeve. As you can see, the gilt writing for the brand. And when you get the box, it is fairly nicely made. You've got a soft foam inlay with a suede sort of texture. One section which is empty could mean that they could probably put two watches in there. But yeah, this one is holding the warranty card, and on the back it does state it is a prototype. So it got some nice QR codes, so it gives you warranty details if you scan this, and the watch setting manual. And you know what, while for the most part none of us feel we need a manual on how to operate a normal automatic watch, there are lots of people out there that don't actually have a clue how to use automatic watches, so that's a handy little tool there. So let's put that away, and of course the main thing we're here for is this watch. Now, 39mm, very sought after case size, case shape. We know all the homages are around 40mm, so I think them coming out with a 39mm was a very, very smart move, because it's going to be very popular. I think the Kickstarter campaign sold out in 7 minutes. Well, not sold out as in it was completed and fulfilled in 7 minutes. I think they got around $170,000. So very popular campaign. Of course, the R11 was a huge success. As you can see, even on the website now, most of the models are sold out with a very few number remaining. So with this model in hand, in terms of dial options, you do have a few dial options. I've got the gilt and black version. You've also got a limited or a special edition, which is a meteorite dial, a two-tone bracelet. You've also got a fully lumed, I think they call it, what's it called now? The Aqua Lumin Nova dial. They've got, I think, a teal dial, and they've also got a military gilt and green. That's as far as I remember on the top of my head. But I gotta say, the watch in hand does look fantastic. It does have a sub-style case, but it looks so different, and it is quite refreshing. The dial itself is absolutely incredible, just crazy amount of details going on. And being a Hexmariner, I can see the design language is present throughout the whole watch, on the bracelet. Yeah, everywhere I look, I can just see why it's called the Hexmariner. I think every angle possible they went about and created. So let's talk about the price. I don't have much information at this moment in time. The website doesn't have the details yet. Yeah, so the R11 is currently selling around the £250 to £280 mark, depending on the variant you go for. Of course, the meteorite dial is more expensive. And this one, I don't know how far it'll be off the cost. I don't think it should be too far off the cost of the 42mm. But you do have the option of signing up for an early bird release on the website. Of course, as it gets closer to 11/11, I think they'd reveal more details. So let's go over the specifications, and then I'll take off the plastic and give you a bit more of an insight into some of the features present, and we'll cover dimensions. Spec wise, you do have a sapphire crystal, and you've also got a sapphire crystal on the case back, which has been decorated nicely with the Revelot logo. You can just see that. You also have a 120 click unidirectional bezel with a ceramic bezel insert, and I believe this is also loomed. I will give you a sneak peek of the loom shot because, you know, this being an unboxing and they're about to launch very soon, I don't think I'll get the full review done before then. So it's handy giving you as much information as I can. In terms of the movement, you do have a Seiko NH35 movement. I have zero issues with that. I think it's a very solid, reliable movement and it helps keep the cost down. So in terms of water resistance, you got 200 meters and the bracelet itself is solid end links, solid link bracelet. It does have a pin and collar link system. You do have a quick release bracelet. So have a look, you can see the 2 pins on the back. And you do have an upgraded clasp with 5 micro adjustments. So bear with me while I take all these stickers off so I give you guys a better look at everything else. The notable differences from the first Hexmariner, the 42mm, is of course the size. This is 39mm and it's smaller all over. And then the buckle has changed. I think the previous one had 3 micro adjust. This has got 5 on there. And I think for a diver without a kind of diver's extension, I think 5 micro adjustments are good enough. Now on top of that, the rehaut area previously had hour marker etchings. But now it's got the logo, so you've got the Hexmariner Revelot, which is nice. And I don't think personally I would mind either hour markers or the text. But the text is very nicely done. You've got a brush rehaut area and the minute track is around the dial at this point. And they're saying there's an improved bezel action. So let's have a look or a listen to that bezel action. That's quite crisp, not too light and not too stiff. It does line up. Very minimal play. There is a very tiny amount of play, but that feels good. I mean, I didn't see the previous one, so I don't know how bad that one was for them to, you know, go by improving it. The bezel itself, the construction, you've got these scallops. Now, usually I think the sub-style scallops are a bit more rounded. These are again more like a diamond shape, you know, so in line with that straight edge theme. Bezel is fine, and so those are the 4 main differences. The bracelet does look awesome. I can see, as I said, that design language is present throughout. You've got multiple facets on the links. It's a 3-link bracelet, and even the edges are beveled or chamfered and polished, whereas the majority of the bracelet is fully brushed, and that is very nice and smooth in hand. Now they've got a couple of notes that they've put on the press release. So the fully loomed dial, I think there's a bit of an issue with that. Is the loom isn't that bright, but you know, I think they're saying it's very challenging to get it right, you know, due to the mix of loom, the color and the 3D shapes of the dial. So they're working on improving that. And one more note on the bracelet, they're saying for the final product they will apply just a bit more polishing and just to make it just a touch bit smoother. But in hand, there's no issue to the edges at all. I think what they might be referring to is the center links. When you run your finger across, you can just feel some edginess to those center links there. But it's not something which will get in the way of you actually wearing the watch. I'm really impressed with this. I like how it looks. I'm definitely going to size this up and get this on wrist before I do the full review. So let me give you guys a close-up of that dial. And you've got a very detailed dial. Just look at all that embossing. Now, I don't know if it's CNC'd or, you know, machine embossed, but that is a very well textured dial. You can see all those angles there. So for honeycomb pattern, all the hour markers have a beautifully polished frame, again in line with the theme, all angles and shapes. The handset is finished beautifully. You've got chamfered edges on either side which are polished, and that grainy sort of brushing through the center really does help. The way the light reflects off there makes it really visible. And of course the red accents on the tip of the second hand and just above the 6, and the pip at the 12 on the bezel insert. Well, let me get you some dimensions. So the diameter of the watch case is, yes, 39mm, including the crown, 42.3. Let's check the thickness is 13.5. The lug to lug, let's have a look at that, is 44mm. But with those male end links, 48.5. You know, usually you find they say around 50, 51, but this is going to be a great fit. So 48.3, sorry, including the end links. 20mm lug width, of course. Is it? Yeah, 20mm. Yes, it is. Taper of the bracelet goes down to 18mm. So I think this is a fantastic package. Price wise, you know, check out the website, and I still think it'll be just under the £300 mark, around the £250 sort of region, which is great. 6 o'clock date window, And yeah, let me check the lume out while we're here. This is old radium lume, I think C1 or C3, but it glows like mad. That is the best old radium lume I've seen. Fully lume bezel insert, hands, hour markers, you know, chunky, well applied. There's no defects there, no patchiness, and that is a nice, rich application of lume. No doubt it'll last long enough. I'm very impressed with that. You know, you're getting a very complete package here. So look, as I said, this is my first impressions of a new brand to me, the Revelot, and I gotta say I am really well impressed with, you know, the build quality and everything they've kind of done. They've took a traditional case, and you know, I've always said it, the Submariner case is very, very basic. You know, you can get cheaper watches which have more dimensions and finishing gone into a case, and I think what they've done here with the Hexmariner and that design language being present throughout is really good. It is commendable. They've gone for a smaller size, and they are kind of listening to the community, which is, you know, one of the signs which is going to make you popular. You know, just look at Zelos, for example. Elshan pays attention to what people are saying. He is very close to the community, as close as you can be. And even if you go to AliExpress, look at San Martin, they communicate regularly with the subscribers and reviewers, and you know, they make watches that people want. And with regards to this one as well, Revelot, if they continue on this path, they'll make some really good watches. So that's it for this unboxing, like mini review as well, trying to get all the information I can out to you guys. So I'll follow up with, you know, my afterthoughts once I get this on wrist for a few days, and then yeah, I'll let you know how that gets on. So go on to the website, Revelot watches. I'll leave a link within the description. Make sure you subscribe so you get some early bird offers, because no doubt if you're interested in this watch, get the early bird, you're always going to save money. And then let's see how that campaign goes. I'm guessing they're probably going to sell out very quick. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video.